Yeah. Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Rotten Rye, and I don't know, the panel's looking kind of low today. But we got a nice little show, a little recap of Gamergate. I know it's something I haven't talked about lately on my show, but it's because, personally, there wasn't really much to talk about for a while, and we're finally getting back into things, being beneficial to talk about. And I brought on someone who hasn't followed this shit at all. I tried to get him kind of invested into it in the beginning, but
I don't care. Or I didn't care.
until I explained some of the shit that was going on to him, he was like, "All right, yeah, I need to be here." Um, yeah, so we got Sox is joining us today, as well as possibly a couple other guests. If they happen to show, they show. If they don't, then yeah.
I'm subscribed to her.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's who that was.
All right. So I guess take it from the top. How did this whole
Yeah.
thing start?
Oh, okay. So it depends on how far you want to go back. If you want to go back to everyone kind of being pissed off at games journalism in general, uh, well, in recent time, you have to go back to the Kane and Lynch review, and the writer who refused to give positive coverage to it getting fired.
And that was the one that ended in like a total cliffhanger ending, and like half of the game wasn't there. Like it was a really short campaign and just didn't give what was promised.
Right. And the reviewer said that, and he was promptly fired. I think from GameSpot. So that kind of triggered some angst, I guess, within the gaming community, because that writer was very much taking his job seriously. You know, I'm providing consumer information to fans.
Now, if I remember correctly, the main reason why he got fired was because they were advertising that game on their website.
Exactly. Yep. The publishers were advertising that game on the website, and it was a threat to ad revenue. That it looked like apparently there was some sort of deal to give a minimum of positive coverage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like it has to score at least this on your review scale.
Yeah, and you can't say XYZ, that kind of stuff. So I mean that's kind of what this was back in like 2009, and this is what kind of triggered the more recent pushback, and I guess the joke that games journalism is essentially corrupt in that sense. And there's been kind of like a culture of, well, not it's become part of the online culture, I guess, to make fun of video games journalism. You have things like the V the musicals or V sings, which was it would be a bunch of anonymous users from the video games board on 4chan, and they would sing songs. They would write silly songs, and they would sing them. And a lot of them had to do with publishers bribing, basically, websites for positive review scores. And this has been going on for years. It's nothing new. You know, this dislike of the relationship between publishers and websites.
Yeah, I actually have a couple other songs on my phone. I listen to them while I'm at work.
But then we move forward a little bit, and then you have the Dorito Pope saga, which
Jeff Keighley
and Mountain Dew and Doritos and Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a disaster. And to this day, he is still Dorito Pope. He doesn't like that, but that's what he is. Yeah, there were a couple of other dramas that happened. Like it came out back in 2012 that this chick who was a games writer for several major newspapers, was actually also a consultant for Square and Square Enix. They're not Square anymore. And had been writing reviews of their games while being a PR consultant for them. Now,
No.
yeah,
That's they
right,
shouldn't. That.
right, okay. Now, this drama erupted when she was tweeting something about a PlayStation giveaway to get a free PlayStation 3. And this was at like some press event, like for Games Press, run by Sony, I think. Um, and they had like a contest to see who could get the most retweets of their thing, and whoever did would get a free PlayStation 3. Yeah. Anyway, so this piqued the interest of a writer over at Eurogamer, and he did some digging and he found out all of this stuff about this chick. So he wrote a big article, and she flipped her shit and threatened libel. Said, I'm going to sue Eurogamer for libel if this isn't removed. So the editors at Eurogamer agonized over it and did eventually pull down the article, and the writer who did write the expose, I guess, resigned. He just left. He's like, no, I can't do this anymore if this is what you're going to do. Which was another, this whole drama was another alarm bell. Because one, you have this writer who is actively writing for large newspapers about video games, working with them as a PR consultant. And then you have the censorship by using, laws that exist for terrible laws like libel laws, to threaten and intimidate publications to pull down things you don't like. Because even if the claims were 100% true, if a libel suit happened, it would cost Eurogamer so much money. And no one had that kind of money to fight that kind of suit.
So they kind of
So,
had
yeah.
to just walk away from it.
Yeah, they had to walk away from it. They couldn't fight it. So that's why they pulled the article. But yeah, so this has been brewing for a while, this whole Gamergate thing, the distrust between gamers and press, because there are so many conflicts of interest. And I guess the pushback against the gaming community started when the very visible pushback against the gaming community from the gaming press started the whole Mass Effect 3 drama, which they're responsible for. They're the ones that stirred up all of this stuff like, Mass Effect isn't going to be living up to the fans' expectations. And they got everyone kind of in a frenzy about how negative the game was going to be. And then after the game launched, and everyone played it, and everyone got pissed off because they didn't like the ending, the press turned around and called everybody a bunch of entitled children. And we're like, hang on a minute. You guys literally started this fight. And now you're turning on us and saying that we're entitled? You agreed with us 2 months ago, now you don't? Okay. It's like that kid who, will play two sides against the other. Two sides against each other. It's like, oh, hey, he called you a fat jerk. And then he goes up to the other kid and said, hey, he said that your mom's retarded. And then he makes the two other kids fight. Stuff that is totally not true. That's kind of what it feels like the press has been doing to gamers. So that's kind of some... Yeah, so that's kind of some recent history for you. So this whole undercurrent of distrust towards the games press for very valid reasons, and then the games press turning on gamers and basically insulting us and deriding our opinions, even though they're the ones that kind of caused the issue in the first place. So, well, not caused the issue in the first place. I mean, Mass Effect 3 was kind of terrible, but that's just my opinion.
But they brought attention to it.
Yeah, they did. They brought attention to it, and they said, hey, this is going to be bad. And they got us all into, like, this blood frenzy, and then when we did get mad, because it was terrible, they said, oh, you guys are entitled and don't understand art. I'm like, what the hell are you even talking about?
Like, art had nothing to do with that. The game just...
That
the
was
ending
lazy
bad.
writing.
It's like you play 2 solid games, and then you get to that, and it's just, what the hell? Talk about a ball drop.
The first one was great, and then the second one came out, and it was just, the second one was phenomenal, I thought. I thought the second one was better. Then the third one came out, and you got to choose colors.
Yeah. It was, okay, have you ever seen Stargate SG-1?
No.
No? Oh, okay. To me, the ending of Mass Effect 3, it felt a lot like the ending of one of the big storylines in Stargate, the TV show. Where they basically use the Stargate network to blast this radio signal to destroy these replicator alien robot things.
Just
And I'm like,
rock, paper, scissors.
yeah. So I'm like, oh, cool. So they ripped off the ending of the Replicators story for Mass Effect. Excellent. But yeah, pretty colors, I guess. Stargate didn't have green, purple, and red. So.
And see, they if they really want to get down to it, they can blame themselves for me not buying that one. It was the only Mass Effect I've never played, and I refused to.
You didn't play 3?
No.
I have it, you know.
I know you have
3 of them.
I have the option to buy it. I just don't want to. Like, I've heard everybody talk about it. I'm like, even with like them going back in later and saying, all right, well, we're going to give you guys the ending you deserve. It's a bunch of pictures. Like,
yeah,
fuck off.
It's essentially this. It's got like the first part of the ending video is the same thing with a different color for all 3 of them, and then the very end of it's different. They're either all gone, helping, or I can't. What was the third one?
Well, fuck.
Not important. It sucked. That's the key. I just felt like I had to get it because of the first 2.
Yeah, you need that closure.
Exactly.
And that's something that the game wasn't offering. Like, it felt like they were sequel baiting off of a game that was supposed to be a trilogy.
And the whole indoctrination theory just pissed me off. I didn't want to think that hard. I shouldn't have to think that hard.
In reality, though, it made a lot of sense, the indoctrination theory.
Yeah, it did.
But then they blew it out of like they blew it away whenever they came out with that new ending. It was like, all right, well, if that didn't happen, then
we're done.
Yeah, sorry, I was having a drink of water. So you can see kind of where the history is, and it goes back further, back into before the internet and the magazine press. But I'm not going to go into that because I was out drinking last night, so that's too much brain thinking for me right now.
Like I said before the show, I'm drinking now, so it's all good.
So we have the recent history, basically. Okay, so everything that happened from 2009 to like last year when everything started. So there'd been this like negative pushback from the press against the gaming community. And the gaming community has thought of the press as a joke for at least the past 10 years. So now we get to the part where we're all misogynists. But I guess I should give you some contextual history for people who don't know. Okay, so back in 2013, December, I guess, a game developer named Zoe Quinn. I hate that I have to do this, but I'm gonna tell you what happened. She submitted her game Depression Quest to Steam Greenlight. Um, then nothing really happened. And, and then on December 12th, she said that she was harassed by an image board called Wizard Chan. Wizard Chan is an image board um, for basically, depressed 30-plus-year-old male virgins who basically go there to like let off steam about what it's like living, as a depressed dude, right? And the mental state of the users of that image board forum is some kind of on edge. They have like the suicide hotline on their front page. Do you know what I mean? Like it's, hey, if you feel like you want to end things, call these people. They will help you, kind of thing. It's yeah. Anyway, so it's Chan culture, which is kind of offensive, and uh, you really shouldn't apply it to the outside world. Chan culture. Um, it's only relevant within itself. People look at it from the outside and go, "They're all a bunch of racists," and
But in reality, no, they're just cracking jokes.
yeah, people don't understand that you really shouldn't take anything from inside of a 4chan or whatever chan board and apply it to the real world. None of that even remotely. Yeah, no, not everyone. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's definitely not something you take to the outside.
You take it with a grain of salt, is what you're saying.
Exactly. You got to look through the harsh language and things. Yeah. Sorry. Um. Yeah. Basically, it's you have to go. Oh, okay. This is just how Anons on 4chan speak. It's not anything else other than that. Anyway, so there was this whole harassment issue. Uh, there was no substantiated proof that these people. She had said that this image board basically had uh, raided her. Now, there was no evidence to support that, and the wizards were very confused because they just want to be left alone in their corner of the internet. They don't want contact with anyone else. So it was kind of strange for those of us who knew what was up with Wizard Chan because we knew that this wasn't the case. Um, there is some evidence to suggest that somebody from the CWC wiki, which is, have you heard of Chris Chan? I'm going really tangential right now.
No, it's
But,
fine. I actually just recently found out about Chris Chan. I don't know too much about him, but I just recently found out who he is.
yeah, well, he's, and I'm not using this term as like a derogatory comment, he is literally an autistic person who just is really easy to agitate on the internet. And the CWC wiki is basically a group of people who are dedicated to harassing him and using him for lols. They call him a lol cow because he is just so easy to get a reaction out of. And he does such ridiculous things. So there is evidence to suggest that CWC Wiki actually planted some of these harassing posts and then passed them on to Zoe Quinn to say, hey, look, these people are harassing you. Because the general vibe of the board is we don't care. This has nothing to do with anything. Go away. There's not even a video game section on that image board. You know what I mean? They have nothing to do with gaming. So it was kind of ridiculous to suggest that they had harassed her because she was a game developer. No one cares. They rebutted and said that, hey, we didn't do this. We're being framed. And it kind of dropped off. Everyone kind of ignored it after that. She was irrelevant. No one cared. But that was like her run-in with Chan culture before all of this started. You dig?
Yeah, I
This
get
is
it.
kind of,
Yeah, it's her
yeah, this
first
is,
like forte into the chains.
yeah, right? And this is all relevant because people spin this narrative that she had been a target of harassment in the past, and everyone dislikes her because she's a woman and made an edgy video game about feelings, which, no one really cares that she did that. Go, fine, make your video games. None of us actually care. Um, just do whatever you're gonna do. Suggesting otherwise is dishonest. Now, this is where we fast forward to August of 2011, when Robin Williams committed suicide. Now, Robin Williams had suffered from depression for many, many years, and he ended his life very sadly back in August. And Zoe Quinn saw this as an opportunity to use that as a platform to launch Depression Quest. So she moved up the launch of Depression Quest to get it out there, um, basically using the death of Robin Williams as a springboard, which a lot of people took issue with.
Understandably
Because,
so.
Yeah, because Robin
yeah,
Williams is the shit. He's fucking awesome.
yeah, Robin Williams was beloved by pretty much everyone. And when the reaction, I guess, I should preface this. Was a very frequent lurker and poster on 4chan. Um, so I remember when we got wind of that, the threads that appeared saying how disgusting and exploitive this was. It was not directed at her gender, just at her actions of using the death of Robin Williams to launch her game. We found it very distasteful. But that kind of dropped off after a little while. That only lasted like a day, paying attention to it. Uh, because that's the nature of the anon image board beast. Uh, Very little holds the attention of anons for longer than 24 hours. Do you
And
know
that's
what I
just
mean?
something. Yeah, I totally get it. It kind of you can kind of say the whole thing about the internet. Like what's big today may not be so big tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. It's an internet thing. The internet has the attention span of a gnat. So anyway, then we get into this whole drama where Zoe Quinn and the Fine Young Capitalists had this little war. Now, again, this is all to give context. This is not the root cause of Gamergate. This is just context as to why Zoe Quinn was on the radar at all and why people are pushing this narrative that she was a harassment target of 4chan before everything all started. The truth of the matter is that she wasn't. She did some really dodgy stuff, and we paid attention to her for like 5 minutes and then ignored her. Do you know what I mean? But
Oh yeah, now like she's just well, now I don't know about so much lately, but for a while there, she just kept trying to continuously self-insert herself. It was like, stop it,
oh
go
no,
away.
no, she was still doing that up until about a week ago. I'll get to that. Um, but yeah, now during August, the Zoe post happens. Now the Zoe post is um, it was a big like emotional dump from Zoe's ex-boyfriend Aaron Joni. Um, and it basically details all of the abuse that she did to him during their relationship, and the fact that she actually had affairs with and long friendships with Nathan Grayson, a, a journalist over at Kotaku. And also he had worked at Rock Paper Shotgun and written extensively about Depression Quest and Zoe Quinn.
Let's not forget there were a couple other guys that
Yeah, well,
involved in that. Oh, no, you're gonna get into that later.
uh, not so much. I mean, the whole scandal was the Five Guys thing. Robin Arnott, I think he's another developer. Uh, I didn't pay too much attention to who
I know
the
there
Five Guys
was
were.
Robin Arnott and Joshua Boggs.
Yeah, but those that was one was her boss and another was a fellow developer, and that's not so much the problem as the relationship with Nathan Grayson was. Now, Zoe had two options here. One, say, hey, yeah, ethics in journalism, it was kind of wrong that what happened, and I feel kind of exploited or whatever. Or troll the shit out of 4chan and make fun of everyone and antagonize people.
Guess what she took?
Yeah. And, you know, I actually read a really interesting interview with an anthropologist who's studying Gamergate. And he says, one of the things I'm confused by is, at the beginning, why didn't gamers try and get Zoe Quinn on their side? And I'm like, she kind of killed any hope of that happening when she decided, instead of letting the... See, this is what happens. The the happenings happen, right? So we'll have this fire spark, and then we'll get all hyped up about one thing, and then because basically we all have ADHD on the internet, we go off into like 16 other things, and we stop paying attention to the original thing. So within 4 days, we had stopped paying attention to the fact Zoe Quinn
Wasn't even
kind of...
relevant anymore. She was
Yeah,
just
she
gone.
was completely irrelevant, and we were like, okay, so these writers at Kotaku had personal relationships with these developers, never disclosed the information, and wrote, you know, all of these articles here about them. And people kind of ignored that. But during this time, instead of letting us forget about her, Zoe decided to troll the shit out of 4chan. Which...
You don't. Okay,
nothing
4chan.
but agitate.
Yeah, it's like you're trolling trolls. You realize that.
Yeah, and 90% of their reaction to that trolling was just like, please, Zoe, go away. Stop it. We don't care about you. Go away. Um, that was literally it. It was like, hey, we don't care about you. If you don't want to help us expose all of this stuff, we have nothing to do with you. Go away. Now, I'm not saying that she didn't receive any harassment, because there are gross idiots on the internet who will take things too far. But it wasn't the majority of us Anons who were busy digging. We were like, no, 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 we don't care about any of this. We're busy. We're looking for information. You're irrelevant. She was literally irrelevant after like 3 or 4 days. So that's kind of her involvement, and kind of the spark was her relationship with Nathan Grayson was exposed. And then she proceeded to troll the crap out of V while we were digging for information, and insert herself even further into the drama.
And are you gonna touch on Stephen Totillo's involvement whenever he had questioned Nathan Grayson about
Oh,
their relationship? Are you gonna touch on
Yes.
that next, or?
Oh yeah, that's where we were going.
Oh, okay. Well, perfect time to involve that then.
Yes, like this ends like Zoe Quinn's direct involvement with the drama.
Aside from her continuously trying to self-insert herself into it.
And trolling people, yeah.
I don't know.
That's-
That's the whole point why I'm here. I'm here to learn about Gamergate. But
Mhm.
the only thing I did know about it was every time it was brought up, all I heard was Zoe Quinn for like
Yeah.
the longest time.
Yeah. And that's because she keeps putting herself in it, and other people want to talk about it, like people who are against our movement or sort of thing. People who are against gaming. I hate using this kind of terminology, but it's the easiest way to explain to people. People who are against Gamergate always hold Zoe up and say, hey, You guys all harassed her. This is all about harassing her and harassing these other females. And it's like, no, it's not what it's about.
In
And
reality,
we have to
people were
defend it.
focusing on Nathan Grayson. They were focusing on Robert Arnott. They were focusing on Joshua Boggs. They were all trying to go after these sources and leave her
Yeah.
out of it. Like,
But she kept inserting herself into it. And that's a problem. You know, that was the problem with it. She was trying to make herself relevant to the argument, and she wasn't.
but yeah,
Well,
the whole
discussion.
thing with Stephen Totillo, I have found that very interesting because we had a third-party account that, all he had to do, like Nathan's point, is all he had to do is say, "Oh yeah, we were never involved," and that lead would have dropped right there. Now, granted, we would have found something that would have connected them anyway, so we would have known that that was a lie. But he legitimately all he had to do there was lie,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
like because Steven totally confirmed it for us. Like, all right, well, Zoe Post is legit then.
Yeah, that was the thing. You know, it's the relationship was confirmed by Steven Totillo. Because Steven asked Nathan, "Hey, are you involved with Zoe Quinn?" And he said, "Yeah, but our involvement started after I published that piece about the game jam." And he's like, "Oh, how long after?" "Oh, 2 days." What?
You see that the red flags all over the place there.
Yeah, I mean, look, okay, I don't care about their intimate relationship. Okay, that doesn't matter. The fact that they were friends for at least a year prior, that is red flags.
Oh yeah, and it's like I can understand you get a little friendly with a source and everything like that. I can understand
Yeah.
that, but realistically, who was she 2 years prior to this that she was a reliable source for any information?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like how was she one of your sources if she wasn't a developer at the time? Like I'm sorry, but an HTML game doesn't seem like it'd be that long of a development time.
Silence.
Sorry, yeah, I bumped my mouse and accidentally muted my mic. Um, but Depression Quest had been out for a while before this all started. Um, it was the whole launching the game on Greenlight.
Oh, so it was already released then.
Well, you knew it was.
Yeah.
We watched people play it on
Yeah,
back
but
when we
there-
used to watch IGN all the time.
No, that was Random Encounter with Daniel Dwyer.
Yeah.
That was through GameSpot. Ironic.
Oh, it
Oh
was
shit,
GameSpot,
we lost
yeah.
stocks. Oh no. Don't go anywhere. We're trying to get her back in just a second.
We will get her back. Well, this seems like the perfect opportunity for me to get a beer.
Yes, go do that.
God damn it.
Oh, okay, she's
Sorry.
back. She's back.
All right, we'll just let her know that I'm not there. So she's just talk about random bullshit.
He's going to get some beers, so
You want
That's
one, or
okay.
you want to try mine first? You just want me to get you one?
go get
Okay.
one.
Want mine?
Yes, dude. I'm gonna hit him. All right. So, where we just leave off?
um. Oh yeah, Nathan's relationship with Zoe. Yeah, I mean they had been friends for a long time before all of this, and it, it's a little concerning. I mean, and we don't care how intimate someone's relationship with someone is. It's like, are you friends? Yes. Oh well, you know.
We're gonna take your opinion with a little less serious.
Yeah.
Because
All you have to say is, I am friends with this person. You should. All they had to do to kill this part of it was for Stephen Totillo to come out and say, "Oh yeah, they were friends when blah 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 was written. We've amended the articles and we've put disclosures on them." That's it.
But they decided not to take the high road.
No. That
Yeah.
what they did was like, yeah, they were in a relationship and blah blah blah, but it all happened after the article was published, so there was no conflict of interest. And people were like, so you want us to believe that their relationship relationship started 2 days after the fact, and before that, they weren't friends at all. And I'm like, yeah, no. So, but that's the thing, you know, it's not about Zoe, but you have to give all this context with Zoe involved to show why it's not. It sounds so like insane and obsessive and retarded, but that's the truth of it. You have to give all of this
I
context to
totally
the
get it though. But
yeah.
what
So
was it? Was it shortly afterwards where we seen the articles start coming out? Was it
yeah,
Game Journal
this
Pros that happened first, or was it the articles? It was the articles,
it
right?
was the articles that happened first. Game Journal Pros didn't happen for a while. Um, yeah. So from August, what was it? Hmm. I have my timeline here. Yeah, that's what it was. From August 28th till August 29th. 14 articles saying that gamers and gaming culture is dead.
And it's like
It
their
was,
audience, and that's where everyone gets that meme from, and it's hilarious.
yeah. So it was another bout of the press losing their mind and going after gamers
And
and
since then,
gaming culture.
I believe that they tried to say, "Oh no, you guys read those articles wrong. What
Yeah.
we were saying is the culture for this time period is dying, and that anybody can become a gamer." It's like, no, you guys are just trying to backtrack now.
See, and here's the thing though. They could have made those points without using such inflammatory language and falling back on stereotypes that gamers have worked for decades to kill. A stereotype that we had effectively killed. They have brought it back. That stereotype that all gamers are a bunch of white dudes who are all virginal neckbeards living in their mother's basements. And you know, we're all terrible at talking to women and just behaving properly. And that's what the stereotype that they brought back is. And they keep perpetuating it. You know, there's this hatred towards video game fans and nerds that's going on right now. And it's disgusting. Um, and it's perpetuated by the video games media and the clickbait media in general. Uh, just demonizing the crap out of gamers. And that's where stuff gets important. You know, this is where things turn on its head. These Gamers Are Dead articles were written in response to the fact that we had been digging into the press.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Is that's actually where we saw like the first real boom in the amount of people using the tag. And I don't know if you want to go into the origin of the tag or at all, or but that's where you started to see like the amount
Yeah,
of people who were using it spike.
yeah, it was literally Gamergate is born on the 29th of August, where Adam Baldwin tweets for the first time, and he tweets out Internet Aristocrats videos with the hashtag Gamergate.
And before that, it
And
was the Fire Rises.
yeah,
Or well, actually, it was a number of tags, but the Fire Rises is the one that I personally was using. So
there were a bunch of hashtags, and there were a bunch of different op names for everything, but it all eventually, after Adam Baldwin tweeted that, it became just Gamergate. Because that was a convenient name for the series of scandals we were investigating at the time. So yeah, the Gamers Are Dead articles came out in response to us digging into the press, basically, and asking questions.
So it's kind of funny is instead of like coming clean to a lot of their dirty deeds and shit, they decided, you know what? Let's just say fuck them. That'll go over well.
Yeah, let's call them all a bunch of children and misogynoids.
When doesn't it work?
Well, this time right
There?
here because you're fucking with people who spend 90% of their time on a computer and they know how to
Yeah.
find shit.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. It's like, hey man, he he could take no. He knows everything there is to know about a computer. I mean, even when me and you were in high school, we knew how to hack just a little bit. We
Yeah,
didn't
but it
even
was
mess with
basic
it.
like proxy server bullshit. The
Right.
shit that's like not even hacking really.
Back at the time, it was.
The fuck. All right.
For
Yeah,
us.
see, I'm waiting for her to just be like, no.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I used to mess with all the administrator computers and shit from the library.
It wasn't hard. I need to list the
No.
password. All right, let's just
Let's
continue.
yeah.
We're getting into
let's
stupid shit.
bypass.
Like,
We're just gonna yeah. Continue.
Okay. So this is where the Game is the Dead articles happen in response to us digging into the press. This is when everything explodes. Hang on a sec here. So Christina Hoff Sommers comes out on August 31st and says, "Hey, all of this talk about gamers being misogynist, crazy people harassing women you're full of crap." And Christina Hoff Sommers is a noted feminist academic who gets crapped on a lot by other feminists because she's not a third wave crazy person. So we had then the Escapist announces that they're changing their ethics policy and they're going to allow Gamergate discussion on their forum.
and for a while, that was like the main place for discussion, aside from Twitter. But 140 characters, it limited discussion. So a lot of people
Absolutely.
flocked to the Escapist because we found it as like a little safe haven.
Right. And during this time, this is where it's all kind of confused and muddled, but any discussion about anything even remotely related to Gamergate was basically censored and kicked off Reddit,
Yeah,
4chan.
I was gonna say, what was that Reddit thread that TB had? It was like
Yeah, Total Biscuit posted a video.
26,000.
Deleted comments.
Yeah,
25,000 deleted comments on one thread about Total Biscuit talking about ethics in video game journalism. That kind of exacerbated things. Streisand effect. So everyone flocked to Twitter. Everyone flocked to the Escapists because those were the places those were the established places where we could talk. Because Moot banned discussion on Gamergate on 4chan.
and that's where we seen the Exodus. Well,
Exactly.
Well, it wasn't that quick that we saw it, but we saw the Exodus to 8chan, and that was kind of a trip because
It was.
we were like DDoSing the poor little guy's servers because he wasn't expecting this flood of people.
Yeah, and then you suddenly have an extra 3,500 people just show up and go, "Hey, we're using your website now."
Yeah, he's like, all right, well, I got to get new servers, guys. Hold on, but he worked quick though. He got everything up and going really quick.
Yeah, 8chan is super smooth now. Whereas when we first started using it, we abused the crap out of that game. It was so slow. Website. Sorry, my house got a little bit noisy.
It's fine.
Okay, so where are we at? Yeah, the mass censorship and the exodus to the Escapist forums, Twitter, and 8chan. Streisand effect, basically.
Their whole thing was to stop the conversation. What they did was just spark more people to talk about it.
Right. More people ended up finding out about everything, and more people joined the cause, basically. So we have the Streisand effect basically happening. Then we have all of these articles, everyone condemning gamers and Gamergate, and we're all a bunch of terrible people, and suddenly we've become a right-wing fascist training ground for some reason I don't understand. We're all misogynists.
Well, let's not forget the Shining fucking thing. Is apparently we're worse than ISIS.
Yes, this is the thing. we had a bunch of people come out and say he's the managing director of cloud technology at Dell, come out and say that Gamergate is literally the cyber version of ISIS. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? The guy still has never apologized for what he said. He deleted that tweet, but the archive doesn't lie.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised. I don't know, like this is about the time when you start seeing block bots popping up and shit like that too.
So what are we
Yeah.
like Homeland terrorists or something?
That's what they're pretty much trying
yeah.
to say.
That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that Gamergate is all a bunch of terrorists.
I'm not a terrorist. I can be a terrorist.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying. They're saying that we all hate women and we're all terrorists, and all we're doing is doing terrorist attack on women. That's literally the language they use when they talk about us.
I love women.
I love women. Women are the most best, right? They're nice, and see, now I'm just objectifying them, but they're soft and they smell good, and that's much better than dudes.
In a lot of ways,
sometimes, do not smell great. But same with chicks,
Well, I mean,
y'all gotta use some deodorant.
In a lot of ways, women are stronger than men. So, and then I in like a lot of video games that I play, a lot of my favorites had women writers. Like, there's just more
Legacy
emotion.
of Kain series.
I didn't.
Right?
Yeah, let's see, what was it? Tomb Raider, I think, had a female writer.
Oh.
Tomb Raider Guardian of Light did, yeah.
Well, let me they're just all right. Perfect example for writing. One of the writers for the Walking Dead TV show is female, and that is like one of the most emotional shows. It's just a good, there's just more emotion.
Yeah.
So
it's a great show,
I love having him try to find words to say it's funny.
But yeah, see, that's the thing. It's none of us look at. I don't think any of us. I can't say for 100% certainty. Look at a piece of work and say that it is lesser or inferior because a woman has made it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And they keep saying that Gamergate is this horrible thing that hates women, and I'm like, well, how do you explain people like me, women like me, who have been welcomed with open arms and celebrated, and my work is never criticized because of my gender? No one has ever taken issue with anything I've ever made and said, well, this is terrible because she has a vagina and makes her inferior. Go back to the kitchen, socks. No one ever says that to me. So it's all very confusing. I've never been so embraced by a community outside of gaming. Well, even though this is technically sort of becoming like a gigantic amalgamation of every gaming community on the planet. I mean, FPS gamers are different from MMORPG gamers, and MOBA gamers are different from, RTS gamers. So it's all of these different types of gamers coming together and just saying, hey, enough is enough, Games Press. And for some reason that makes us all crazy misogynists.
Right.
So if you have any more questions, let me know and I can answer for you if I can, and I can keep going if you like, because I'm only up to October here.
We can just keep going.
Yeah, who can I tweet to yell at?
Yeah, we got an unblocked Twitter account here, by the way.
Totally unblocked. I can do whatever. I am a free agent.
Okay. Well, let me tell you about the Game Journal Pros. We had this one reporter say, hey, Gamergate, what's up? And he actually investigated what was going on and stumbled across a secret mailing list of a whole bunch of games journalists that work at various different publications. And they were all kind of, oh shit, sorry. There we go. So they uncovered this list of game journalists on this big email list, and their conversations seemed a little bit off. So there were a bunch of leaked emails, and it became known as the Game Journal Pros Leak, which showed the big editors-in-chief of online publications like Ben Kuchera pressuring people like Greg Tito to block all Gamergate chatter on their websites. But Greg Tito was the editor-in-chief of The Escapist at the time. He's not anymore. He's retired. Well, not retired, but he was let go. And they have a new editor-in-chief there at the moment. This happened about a week ago. But anyway, so the Game Journal Pros thing came out, and there was clear evidence of the journalists all conspiring, well, not conspiring, but forming a narrative where they said that they weren't going to talk about the Zoe Quinn stuff and the Nathan Grayson stuff. They weren't going to talk about any of that. They had all actively decided together that no publication was going to cover it. So that's what happened.
And that's why we all talked about it.
Yeah. And so that kind of, again, as soon as those email leaks came out, everyone lost their minds, because that was kind of more like fuel to the fire of, you know, the games press genuinely hates gamers, so why the hell are they games press? So there was that. That was fun. And then along comes the Blockbot. Prior to some of this stuff, people had been using this like Twitter app called Block Together, where they can share a list of blocked users, and they were just like picking out random, well, not random, but they were blocking Gamergate, people using the hashtag Gamergate. And so this shared block list was going around.
And some of the people that were being blocked are people who were literally asking, what is hashtag Gamergate?
Yeah. You know, it's like, what is going on? What is happening here?
And it's like, boom, blocked. Like, what?
Yeah, it's like, what the hell did I do? I asked a question. You know, and that's kind of, yeah, it got out of hand really quickly. Oh, man. Sorry. Oh, crap. Yeah, during all of this, a whole bunch of doxings and stuff started happening. And it became apparent that there were actually some moderators on 4chan who were doxing people on poll, which was a bit terrifying for people. Because, you know, half of poll, I don't know, poll is the politically correct board or the politics board on 4chan. Now, half of those people are just role-playing crazy, and the other half are crazy. So, it gets bananas up in there when someone does something suspicious. But, yeah, so we had Boogie 2998. Came out and was like, oh yeah, hey, Gamergate, that's great. You guys keep digging, and then he got a whole bunch of like crazy threats and had to step away from Gamergate.
I'd say, now mind you, this is somebody who's tried his best to walk that narrow margin of neutral.
Yeah, and he has tried so hard.
He just gets shit on every time. It's like, guy, and it's like one of the things where he's such a nice guy. It's just like, look, you got this, dude. Just chill out.
Yeah. That was the thing, you know, and Boogie, and he gets crapped on, like, from both sides sometimes, and it's really heartbreaking to see. It's like, man, he's just trying to fix this so we all shut up and go back to playing video games. You know, and who doesn't want to just shut up about this and go back and play video games? I would love to not ever talk about this and go back to playing video games. But unfortunately, if we do that, there's not going to be effective change in the press.
Yeah,
And
they're all going to think like, oh, okay, this is an okay thing to do then.
yeah, it's not an okay thing to do. You can't have that kind of relationship with PR companies and publishers. And the system is broken. Okay? And that's basically what it's about. This system is broken and we need to fix it. We need effective change. And every time someone says to me, well, this is just terrorism against women in video games, I'm like, if it was terrorism against women in video games, why does IGN, after 20 years of being in the industry as a video game media publication, why does it now have a comprehensive ethics policy and standards and practices guidelines public for everyone to see? Why?
That's rhetorical, right?
Yeah. But do you understand?
I get it.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, even Polygon, who are so, their editor-in-chief is so antagonistic and ridiculous and hateful towards gamers. Even they now disclose who they donate to on Patreon, on their author bio pages. Each writer has lists of game devs and whatever that they're donating to on Patreon. So that disclosure of conflict of interest is there. You know what I mean? So there's disclosure happening. There are new ethics policies going into place. And IGN, how is IGN the paragon of ethics in video games journalism right now? We're in the twilight zone. That's what's happening. We're in the twilight zone now. And
what's funny as hell is prior to all this shit, that was like my go-to place for gaming news. Well, you gotta look at where. Okay, I went to everywhere because I always looked at reviews like, you know, a doctor's appointment. You never go to one fucking person for a review. You get
it wasn't just
sources.
It wasn't IGN in general. It was more like Greg Miller and like that.
Well, those are the people that I really like enjoyed watching there, and like their humor and shit like that. But
and they're not with IGN anymore.
For reviews and shit like that, those were what I did. I went to like I think it was like 3 or 4 different websites.
And Angry Joe.
And Angry Joe was my backup. But he took forever to get his reviews out, and I'd already owned the game by that fucking point.
Right. He's just funny to watch.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd sit there and I would go through multiple reviews and shit like that. Well, IGN was always like my go-to for like the news portions of everything. So whenever it all came out, everyone's like, what did IGN do that was so wrong? And then people explained it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. It's like, so that's why. Got it.
Right.
And like I remember going to Kotaku once back in the day. It was maybe like a year before anything like major had happened. And I was sitting there, I was like, I had my phone, and I was setting up on all my favorites and everything on my phone. I was like, went to Kotaku, and I'm reading through all the articles, just like the headlines, just to get you to click on the articles and read them. And half of them weren't even game related. I was like, this is stupid. Like, none of these, like, why, even the ones that were game related to it was like, oh, this game is sexist, and here's why. It's like, I'm not interested.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, look, dude, that's it. I'm not saying don't ideologically critique video games. I'm happy for people to do that. But please don't put it in a spot where we basically come for a consumer review. And that's kind of what it is. And we want to know if, like, Call of Warfare Duty Battle Monkey 7 is going to be, like, awesome or not. Is it going to be as good as 6? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it keeping in line with the rest of the series? What's the innovations that it brings to the genre? You know, are there any game-breaking flaws with it? What's the system like? All this other shit, right? This is the kind of stuff that we want to know, whether or not we should buy the game. And that's what they're not getting. They have a responsibility to the community. They're an industry press body. Okay? That's what they are, industry press. And their responsibility is not to the publishers and not to their own self-interests. It is to the community, to the consumers of the industry that
It's
they are
like
the press of.
they forgot at some point that this was like what they do as reviewers and journalists is they're supposed to be a consumer advocate, and they forgot that somewhere along the lines.
Yeah, they're like, oh no, this all is just has to be about progressive art now. And I'm like, dude, you can't say it's all going to be about art if you want to silence and censor and have content ripped out because you find it offensive. And that's how it feels sometimes. It's like, well, Grand Theft Auto 5 was an awesome game, except for that it's totally misogynistic,
If you
0
wanna,
stars.
even if you put the label of art on it, would you, tell somebody to edit a painting because it offends you? Would you tell an
Yeah,
artist to change something in a painting because it offends you? Would you tell a musician to change a couple of notes because
That's
know?
happened. Don't get me started.
no, it happens. That's the thing. Artists have been censored.
Yeah.
This is part of the growing pains of legitimizing a medium, basically. So, and video games and music and visual arts and performance arts have been getting it for centuries. Thousands, hundreds and hundreds of years. And that's the thing people don't understand is that this isn't new. This is just neo-puritanical garbage
What's funny
when
to
they call
me
for the censorship.
is that video games is the biggest entertainment thing
But it's also
in the
the
world
youngest.
right now. But here's the thing, though. Anti-Gamergate people are never going to be able to change the way things are working because there's such a big, like, Grand Theft Auto, for example. That was one of the biggest controversy video. It was on the news and all kinds of shit. Doesn't matter. You think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to dial it back? No, they're going to push it forward and step over the line even more.
Right? And that's... I don't understand what this push to change the industry is. I don't understand why people can't just carve out a niche and be the change they want to see.
It's control.
I don't like that. It's so infuriating. All I want is to play video games. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to have an intellectual discussion on the representation of women in video games. Because, hey, I'm one of those people that think, hey, this is kind of shitty. Sometimes maybe we shouldn't have just, chicks treated like slabs of meat. Because that's kind of weird and dumb. So that's how I feel. I want to have that discussion, but I don't want to do it off the back of lies. I don't want to do it off the back of pseudoscience, and I sure as fuck don't want to do it off the back of censoring artists. So that's my view. If they want to, they've been trying to turn the discussion on ethics in video games journalism and the video games industry as a whole into a discussion on the morality of video games and the industry. And I'm like, we're not talking about the morality. We're not talking about any sort of ideology. We don't care. All we want you to do is disclose whether or not you have a personal relationship with someone that you're writing about, or if you have personal contacts with a company you're writing about, or financial contacts with the company you're writing about, or financial contacts with a person you're writing about. It's not hard. That's all we have to do. All you have to do is say, hey, my friend made this game, but I'm writing about it. And then you write your fucking article. Why is that so hard? I don't understand
It's not a
why
difficult
that is so
thing,
hard.
but it's just, I don't know. Like they.
It's greed. They can
Yeah.
write a good article, and their friend made the game. They're writing the article.
They both.
They write a
profit.
good article. They both benefit from it.
Yeah, they both profit. One gets the clicks, the other one gets the positive PR.
Yeah, but if you write the good article and you put the disclosure there, no one's... A lot of people just ignore that, but it's there. I just wish they would do that. You can still write a good article. You can still have your clicks. It's just, please disclose things. It's not hard. I'm not asking you for a fucking police check and a criminal record.
Right.
I just want to know whether or not you gave $1,000 to this person to make the product that you're writing about,
I mean,
and you're trying to sell me on.
I
what Ryan
remember
was saying earlier is check multiple journalists, multiple
Yeah.
reviews, and
like I've never gone to one review, read it through, like, oh, it's 9.0, I'm gonna buy that. No, I go to multiple sources.
there's always somebody that you go to first, but then you still go to other people.
Yeah. But now.
Well, yeah.
With that, fuck, never mind. Keep going.
She muted herself again.
Oh,
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
keep going. I had a thought and it went out the window. So
Yeah, I have that all the time. So I'll get back to recapping this instead of ranting about ideologies and stuff.
I'm sure we'll hit another spot like that again, and it's fine.
Bound to happen, you know.
Okay, so where are we at? We are at the Game Journal Pros Leaks, okay? And then we had a whole bunch of, we had this email campaign going on where we were emailing advertisers articles, basically the Game is a Dead articles, and all of these other breaches of ethics, and emailing advertisers and saying, hey, the people you advertise with actually being hostile and offensive to the people that buy your products. So you might want to, consider investigating it and do what you've got to do. So we had a whole bunch of advertisers pull out from these publications. Around this time, the Gawker Network decided that we were all terrorists again. This is a common narrative, is that we're all terrorists. And we're either all terrorists or we're nerds.
Well,
and
I'm a nerd, but I'm like a unique nerd. I do other stuff too.
No, but they were trying to spin it back into like the old school nerd of
yeah, and one of their writers
living in their mother's basement, bad with women, shit
Yeah,
like
but
that.
see, everything's backwards now. Nerds are the cool people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, being a nerd is awesome.
Yeah.
F anyone who thinks they don't, who thinks otherwise, because
Like,
being a nerd is
it's
awesome.
one of my favorite songs off of Be the Musical, and I honestly got to give you all the props for even me knowing about this, because I found out about the Be the Musical stuff through your videos, so thank you.
You're welcome.
But it was the song $10. My
Oh
all-time
God, how good is
favorite.
$10?
Oh, fucking amazing. He hates it because he actually knows the song. It's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I know, yeah.
See, the thing is, all right, the thing you got to know about me is I'm a musician. I've been playing music since I was 4 or 5 years old. So when you take something I love
and parody it
and change it completely,
see, I'm a former musician too, man. Like, but I feel opposite. I love the parodies. I think they're hilarious.
If it's done tastefully, like, I mean, all right, it's not a parody, but like, since you were a former musician, you should know what I'm about to talk about. Like, Rolling Stones did a song called "Sympathy for the Devil," and then Guns N' Roses did the same song.
Yeah.
I didn't like Guns N' Roses' version.
I didn't like Guns N'
also
Roses'
did-
version either.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that good. But then they did "Knocking on Heaven's Door," which was a Bob Dylan song, and I like that version better.
But that version is really good of Knocking on Heaven's Door. Yeah. It's a cover, yeah. They do covers, man. Like, and some covers are fantastic. Like, anyway. There's a Cat Power cover of "I Can't Get No Satisfaction." That's really good. Yeah.
I like her. She's. The funny thing is, I subscribed to her, and I didn't even know that's who I was talking to for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So before we derail too far into music nerdery, let's go back.
real fast, but $10. The whole point I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
At the very end, the whole line with Josh from high school are among us. That whole thing. It really kind of shows you that the people who used to pick on us back when we were in school are now among us. Like that whole fucking thing about games
Yeah.
not being cool, and that entire thing has changed.
Yeah. And that's it, man.
I heard something on this show that my mom watches not too long ago, and there's like a nerd sister, and then like the classic popular, regular, you know what I mean, like cheerleader type sister. And the nerd sister walks up to her and says, "Your friends are going to work for my friends one day." It just, I don't know, it cracks me up because it's true, you know.
Yeah. And I think that's a part of it is that we are the kids that got picked on for being weird or, being nerds or playing video games or doing whatever.
And that's the
And
norm now.
these are the kids the ones who are anti, they're the ones who picked on us. They're the mean girls. Or they're the girls that were picked on and now see an opportunity to be the mean girls. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same with the dudes. They were either picked on in school and now see an opportunity
I
to
have,
kind of project.
yeah, they sit there, they're like, all right, well, I'm in some position of power,
Right.
and
See, I was
Yeah.
different
plan to
because I
abuse it.
bullied bullies in high school. Like, I was the one that fucked with the people that were fucking with the people.
Yeah, I had a hard time early on in high school, but then when I got to like 10th grade, I was okay. I went to a different school and everyone was weird there and it was awesome. And
Are you from Australia, or did you go to
yeah,
school?
yeah.
Oh, all
No,
right.
no, I'm from Australia. Like I just talk to Americans a lot and my fiance is American, so my accent is weird.
Yeah, it's like, like a hybrid.
It is, yeah, it is. It's really weird, and I pick up accents like nothing, man. Like, and that's a problem. Like, if I'm talking by myself, I sound Australian, but if I'm with Americans or other Europeans,
The, plas-
like
the, the
I pick it
placebo
up.
effect. That's what
Yeah,
that's
it's
called.
it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating because people think I'm doing it on purpose. I'm like, no, I'm just retarded. Um, so yeah. Oh man.
I could
Uh,
comfortably say you are not retarded.
just a little bit retarded,
Maybe a
but
maybe a retard, not retarded.
okay. So we're getting to the point now in early October of Gamergate where Total Biscuit comes out officially supporting Gamergate,
Which is my
saying
fucking
which was
I own Vermotors because of this man.
Total Biscuit is his man crush. He just,
I will admit it all day. Yes, he is.
hey,
yeah,
Mark Wahlberg's
right.
mine.
Marky Mark and Total Biscuit. Yep.
Somebody needs to get writing a fanfic on this. Let's go.
Holy shit! Yes, I will put my minions on that.
God, I need a link after it's complete.
Oh yeah.
I need some minions.
Join a Skype cabal. You get lots.
I don't know what that means.
There was this whole like internal Gamergate drama where everyone was accusing people of like being like basically as bad as the Game Jono pros by having like little groups on Skype where we just shit talk.
I'm good at shit talking.
Yeah, right. But people lost their minds and like, oh, there's a secret Skype cabal trying to control Gamergate. I'm like, the fuck are you even talking about? So, but yeah.
I love how what we talk about in the chat affects, not in the chat, what we talk about on the show affects the entire chat.
Well, yeah, because they all can
It's
relate.
so awesome.
Looks like Wayne's gonna be jumping in here soon. That would be cool.
Oh, excellent! Because I've been carrying everyone's load basically. I'm not you guys. I'm not carrying your show. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there was supposed to be
Oh
four
no,
of
you're
us.
carrying the show.
That's just me.
Let's be honest. If it would have just been me and him sitting here, you guys would have been.
If it would have just
Well,
been
not
me and
here,
you sitting
but-
here, it would have been real stupid, real
Yeah.
fast.
We would have no viewers.
He would have lost 50 subscribers in one show.
So Total Biscuit comes out in support of Gamergate, and basically he's like our knight in shining armor. He was giving legitimacy to everything we'd been saying, which it was one of those days where it's just like, oh my god, yes,
Senpai
finally.
noticed us.
I know, right? It's like, Senpai noticed us. Good. That's exactly what it was, and it was great. And then the video game Postal.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, Running with Scissors, the developers of Postal, shared their views on Gamergate, which was firmly, yes, the games media and everyone is corrupt. Please help. Please.
I want a Postal 3.
Yeah, there is Postal 3.
Oh, was there? I thought there was just 2.
No, there's Postal 3.
Well, then I want a Postal 4.
Yes.
Well, that's coming in the form of hatred, apparently. So.
Yeah, hatred. Oh God.
I'll be
Everyone's
honest.
so
I'll be
mad
honest.
about that.
I don't care that the game exists.
Well, I have to get it because my name is Hate. I mean, come on.
But look, I don't see myself. I've never really been one for that type of game, like the twin stick shooter and everything. So I could see myself playing it for an hour at max and then just losing interest in it altogether. So.
Pleb.
Yay, Optimus!
Hey.
Not like twin stick shooters.
Yeah, that means you're a pleb.
Okay.
I really don't know. I'm just I'm late, man. Leave me alone.
All right.
So I kind of caught a little bit while I was trying to reconnect. We're up to October, as far as
We are.
Okay.
Total Biscuit, Road to the Rescue.
Did you say why he had to ride to the rescue?
No. You can do that.
The Dell.
Oh yeah, I talked about that.
Yeah, the Dell guy said that we were worse than that Gamergate was worse than ISIS, because
ooh, the cyber ISIS.
all these beheadings that we be doing.
Yeah.
Stuff. I need your head count for today, Socks. How many people did you behead today?
Oh, at least 11.
At least 11. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was my thing. Today I was like, I fill out your tax return and I shake your hand and I behead you because.
Yeah, I gotta go count the spikes in my front yard. I need a minute.
Yeah, go count the spikes.
But yeah, that's the thing though. That's the thing that was the most distasteful was this was very, very close to the executions of those journalists by ISIS, and I thought it was ironic and weird that we're fighting against these corrupt journalists, and then I'm being accused of being the equivalent of a terrorist army that kidnaps and beheads actual journalists who are doing their fucking jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, yeah, so it was disgusting. Total Biscuit lost his shit over that.
Well, I guess, I mean, Total Biscuit was always sympathetic to it, but he didn't want to come out and fully endorse it because there were a lot of voices saying you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. Blah,
What was
blah,
it? I know he's never full on tweeted the tag or anything like that. But he
he did once. He did once. Yeah.
He's done it a couple of times.
He tweeted the image.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. It was I support women in games in games.
I support women in gaming. I'm against harassment. I think it was.
Yeah, it was a niche gamer picture.
Yeah, and then when the best response. He got a response, and the first response when he tweeted that out was, "I'm really disappointed to hear that." And his response was so amazing. He said, "I'm very sorry to hear that you're for women in gaming and against corruption."
pretty much reversed the entire thing and was like, I really.
Yeah. It's so easy to turn these people's arguments around on them, because they're based in stupidity. You know, when somebody says, "I am disappointed to hear," I mean, you think about that, Rye, and your friend, I don't know his name, but
He actually just written got a couple more Coronas, so he's
okay.
getting it right now.
Well, it really gets me that somebody will say, "I am really disappointed to hear that you're for women in gaming."
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I am.
Wait.
We got to re-explain what happened. Okay, Total Biscuit tweeted out a picture, and the picture said what was it? I support women in gaming. I support, or I'm against harassment, or I'm against corruption, something like that, and I support #Gamergate. And somebody said, "Oh, that makes me," or what was it? Wayne?
I am very disappointed to see this.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I do support women in gaming. I talked about this like 15, not even 15.
Well, he
minutes
wasn't
ago.
here, so, but yeah, you
Yeah.
did, yeah.
I'll say it again. A lot of my favorite shows and a lot of my favorite games had women writers because women writers are better with emotion.
Mm-hmm.
They put like Tomb Raider had a woman writer, and fucking shit was constantly happening. The Walking Dead has a woman writer.
Yeah.
It's so emotional. So
I don't know if it was talked about, but I think wasn't in October when Bayonetta 2 dropped.
Ryan has that. You would know.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's something else to consider. That some people and some of these journalists flip their script because, oh my God, it's a woman and she's standing around sexily. How dare they? How dare they subject her to the, what was it, Socks? The male gaze?
Right, and then what was that? What was it?
Yeah.
There was something I heard about people like talking about how there's no ugly people in games. It's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
when I
it
played
was,
Gears of War,
it's like I know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about Shoe on Head's video.
I have never once said that guy's too buff. I'm not playing this game. Like I was telling Ryan, there should be like a AAA developer that just comes out with a game that goes right into everything the anti-Gamergate people have been doing.
Yeah,
like,
you play a fat cop,
350-pound cop
and
just
halfway
having
through the
like
game,
6
you
heart
just-
attacks.
yeah.
And just, you know what I mean? Like,
you
just
spend the rest of the game in a hospital.
I would play the fuck out of that.
Hell yeah! I mean,
Did
think
you not,
about
have you,
yeah.
I was going to say, have you not played Grand Theft Auto? Because
I want to play it as like an obese cop who has like 11 heart attacks,
Right.
and then like every other, like he's chasing down a criminal, all right, and then like has a heart attack, but the adrenaline from the heart attack
got to have
totally
your insulin shot and shit. You know, like.
yeah, has like an adrenaline shot to get his heart going again, and then like that adrenaline burst actually gives him like superpowers, and he chases down
Right.
and like catches the crow. That would be the best game. Why don't someone make that?
He gets bullet time when he adrenaline shots himself.
he goes from fat, middle-aged, like heart attack-ridden cop to Max Payne.
Like that'd be such a great. I mean, it'd be great for so many different reasons because people would buy it because it'd be hilarious. But then people would get like halfway through it and be like, "Man, I'm sick of having heart attacks."
Yeah. Why'd I keep having these heart attacks? Welcome to real life, buddy.
They just play Surgeon Simulator afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Second life.
That's the end of the game. It has two endings. Either you die because you failed the Surgeon Simulator segment, or you live because you completed the Surgeon Simulator segment.
Right.
Oh wait, no, I got a better idea. You got to decide, like, you're chasing down a cop. It's like, It's like, should I? Or when you're a cop chasing a dude down, it's like, this could be potentially an organ donor.
Right. Oh, I got the perfect ending for
I
the
could
game.
potentially get a new heart.
The
We've
perfect
just
ending.
turned this into a serial killing, organ stealing.
No, it's a morality choice. It's a morality choice.
Morality
It's like you decide if you want to do it or not.
No, what happens in the end of it is they have to make it to where you take down this giant, like, drug lord or stereotypical cop.
Or a dragon if we're doing like going true crime route.
And then at the end, you lose your 401k.
Oh no, my insurance, no.
Fuck. All right, that was a tangent. Let's go on to the next.
Yeah, that was a great tangent though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
But yeah, that was like another moment where, talking about the Bayonetta thing, where it just like people flip their shit because, oh my God, it's a woman. She is empowered and she's sexy, and damn this male gaze.
Yeah,
Because women don't play the Bayonettas apparently.
Or you explain my copy, please.
I can't because remember you're not a woman, you're a sock. Uh,
Oh, that's right. I'm a sock puppet.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot.
Oh, and don't forget that Bayonetta was designed by a woman. Getting back to, what your friend
Yeah,
said.
her character design was actually done by a
I'm
woman.
gonna be honest. I was never able to beat Beta. I bought it for the Wii U, so it came with a copy of Bayonetta 1.
Hmm.
I'm really a finicky person when it comes to stories. If I have the option, I want to be able to play from the beginning all the way to the end. So I started with 1, and wasn't able to beat it.
For what reason?
Because the game is hard as balls, dude.
Dude, I would Cosby that game.
Oh god.
You remember what I said about being a pleb?
Fuck off, Wayne.
Get
That's
good,
something.
bro.
That's something I actually realized. I'm gonna go off on another little tangent here. Last year, I only completed 2 games, and it sickens me.
Mhm.
Well, dude, we work 50 hours a week.
Yeah, but still, I should have time to complete a couple.
We're gonna be
games.
working
I
60 hours.
I beat
in a month.
Watch Dogs and fucking the Call of Duty storyline.
Wow, you had a really bad year.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about bad years? All right.
I thought we were talking about Gamergate.
We'll get to it. We got plenty of time.
Actually, we got an hour and a half.
Shut up. All right. Well, I'm saving up for a better TV, but I've got one of those old ass SD projector TVs, that like they don't sell anymore, and a PS3 with a broken disc drive for 2.5 years now. So I buy all my games digitally, and the newest game that I've played is, let me think. It's really hard. Tomb Raider.
I was gonna bust his balls and say, "Let me think." That sounds like a good game. Is that a trivia-based game?
Oh,
I would cut, yeah.
Well, when you were about to say Red Dead Redemption, I was like, "You what, mate?" Because there was about to be some fighting words.
I loved Red Dead.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna step away for a minute. I'll be back.
Oh, okay.
So you guys continue without me for a minute.
All right.
Okay.
I'll try to hold the line a little bit or something. I don't know.
Well, she has a timeline if she wants to send the link to you or something like that.
Oh yeah. Hang on.
Yeah, pop me to when you get a chance. Yeah.
And then
Oh, I'll do it now before I get up.
Okay.
like where did she just stop at?
I'll figure it
Part
out.
of the reason why I said grab the timeline.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okie dokie.
We don't need to hit reset on this whole conversation because it took a while so far.
Okay, let's see. That's September. Wow, this is a very interesting timeline. Okay, Octubre. All right.
We just got through Total Biscuit's involvement. Somehow we went on like 3 different off-rail segments. So yeah.
Okay. Let's see if this was when it happened. Yeah, that's when like October was also the month when some devs started coming out in support. Not just of course Sox mentioned Running with Scissors, but there was also a dev studio called Warhorse Studios. They kind of they came out and
What do they make?
let me see. I remember what Warhorse. I think that's Daniel Vavra's studio. Let me make sure.
That doesn't sound like a game.
That sounds like a developer.
I know.
Game in development is what I'm trying to get at, plebs. Trying to make sure that this is the.
I just ashed in it.
It's fine.
Maybe the chat knows. Hey, chat, help us out because I'm an idiot. See,
You're not gonna have to do that, are you?
let's see. Let's see. Warhorse. Oh yeah, more and more stuff. I don't know if it actually came from last year, but more information started coming out about the Mighty Number 9 debacle.
Oh, that was whenever she was going on her whole little tirade of blocking people from the official Twitter account. And
If
everything.
you really want a good, what you call it, a good recap of what happened with that, I happen to know a guy who contributed to Mighty Number 9, and he was also a member of the forums when all that stuff went down. And I can, let's see, I'm trying to think when I can confirm that the reason why that she started flipping her shit was because she did not like the term ginger.
Only a ginger can call it ginger.
That was the whole, like, that was the start. Somebody's called somebody a ginger, and then she started banning people. So, of course, you got to realize that this forum is full of a bunch of shit posters. And
Well,
so
you're
what did they do? What did they do? They created the official ginger thread.
I was gonna say you're gonna start seeing South Park memes and.
I was just gonna say
No. What they did, though, they were very clever. They started posting like the ginger root, pictures of ginger root, like dishes that involve ginger.
Oh,
anything
God, that's even better.
anything
Yeah,
ginger.
So the troll was that they were talking about, it was an official ginger thread, but they were talking about actual ginger, not, ginger as in a redhead.
And
Yeah.
freckles and no soul and all that.
Yeah. Thread got closed. Everybody who participated in it got banned. So, and because they got banned from the forums, they are now locked out of any rewards that they paid for.
That is such bullshit.
Yeah, that started the year before. It was this coming up years when people finally started figuring out to do chargebacks on the Kickstarter, because they, obviously they're not going to get their product. So, and
Even
some
then,
people,
the thing that they were promised, pretty much
Yeah.
the spiritual successor of Mega Man, isn't Mega Man. So
by the way, if you want the spiritual successor of Mega Man, get Shovel Knight, because that is the real spiritual successor to Mega Man.
All right,
Screw Mighty Number 9.
Real quick, I gotta say this.
Mhm.
I think it's a lot better when there's not 8 people, because when there's 8 people, I've been here. This is like what, my 4th or 5th time on your show.
Yeah.
There's just people overlapping each other, me wanting to punch your fucking laptop. You can continue now. I just had to say
That's
that.
fine.
people have had the same argument, and we've dialed back how many people are on the show every week. So
Do you like alternate, at least?
yeah, I try to.
I like Optimus.
There's a few people
He's got
I
a lot
have
of good
on.
points.
There's a few people I have on the regular, but other than that,
I have yet to be on time for one of Rye's streams.
that's why he's not a co-host. Is because he can't be on time.
Yeah.
Remy. What about Remy? She didn't even realize today was Saturday, so.
Well,
Yeah,
typically
well.
she's a co-host, but she dropped the ball, so I'll let it slide.
What kind of ball?
The ball was dropped. There were many balls being dropped. By the way, a little aside, has anybody seen, it's on my Twitter, I'm sure, Ryan, you can find it. I have an image of, it was from a Fox News headline, and it's got Tom Brady in it, and it says Tom Brady, and he said, "When I felt the balls, they were perfect."
Oh God. All right, let's not get into the shit posting segment. That's
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I had to throw that out there because you reminded me when, yeah. I can't, this timeline is, wow. I can't get into timelines that are just like
He's
all
on
over
here.
the place.
He's
I'm
on
sorry.
here now too, so
Oh yeah, that was also, October was also when
Damn, big
Intel
a lot of shit.
pulled advertisement from Gama Sutra.
Oh yeah, so this is whenever we started to have all of
That-
the advertisers pulling.
Actually, there was a few doing it here and there, but when a company like Intel pulls advertisement from a website, that is huge.
And that was whenever we started to see a massive amount of them. Like every couple days, it was like, oh, another one. Oh, another one. Hey, look, another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, piece of
And
candy.
I think it was like the whole joke was like, because I think we had BMW, Intel, and Hulu all in 1 week. I made a joke on one of the older grinds. It was actually back whenever it was still the Gamergate community show. It was, I want to get a BMW with powered by an Intel processor with Hulu playing on the fucking screen in the car at all times. Oh shit! But yeah, so that's when around the same time we started having all these advertisers pulling their funds and shit from Gawker,
Yeah.
and that's on the same time that they decided they were going to block their advertisers page.
Hmm. Yes, it was Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's the game that Warhorse Studios, by the way, was making.
Oh.
Deliverance.
Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's
I can play that.
All right, okay. Before we get copyrighted for going any further with that, so after that, well, I don't know. Like that was just on the same time we started, and then they blocked people from being able to view their advertisers, which was stupid because we already had an archived link of it. So, and we had screenshots taken of the entire advertisement page.
Mexican beer is so good.
Holy fuck! Just all right. So where do we go from here, Optimus?
I'm trying to see. Like I said, I'm having a little trouble reading timeline.
And we're
Let's
drinking.
Really? I mean, there's a lot of there's articles and event. It's kind of like
A clusterfuck.
yeah. A lot of things happen at one time. I mean, some people are doing it by time of the day and stuff like that. I'm like, Jesus.
See, you guys, look here. You guys are seeing exactly how the show goes.
Uh-huh.
Whenever there's no topics planned. Just
Mm-hmm.
there's rails somewhere. We just got to brush the dirt off to find them.
Well, nobody likes rail video games. I mean,
Shut up.
It was the guy from Dell was named George Reese, by the way, that made made that stupid comment about it, being worse than ISIS or whatever. So
And the other one, that was back towards the beginning though. Who was it? David Jassy or some shit like that.
David Jaffe.
That's what it is.
Let's see. Oh yeah, and that was also the first Thunderclap, which was I think that was over 5,000 people signed up for that. Yeah, he signed up for that. So did Boogie.
Well.
Yeah, Boogie had signed up for it. There was quite a few people had signed up for that. I remember I think it was around my time. It went out about 1 p.m. and just my Twitter notifications just went through the roof because all my friends were tweeting the same thing. It was like, oh wow, oh.
Oh, I know, man. I remember who was? I think it was Shoe on Head. Totally forgot she had signed up for it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "What the hell? Did I get hacked?"
Mm-hmm.
Because what it is we all signed up for it the day it was announced, and it didn't go off for another couple weeks after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Have you happened to find out where we're at now, or what?
I am still kind of trying to
Decipher.
I'm back.
Okay,
Hey.
hopefully Sox can tell us where
our
we're
host is back.
at.
Sorry. Okay.
Let's see. What was the last thing I said, guys? I don't. Oh yeah, Thunderclap. Yeah, that was the last thing I talked about.
Oh yeah, our use of Thunderclap, the first one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first Thunderclap. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Is it on the timeline?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to figure out who I am.
Let's see. What
Okay.
was it? Thunderclap was it after? Yeah, it was on the 9th, October 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where it was. So go from there.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. So we had the thunderclap happen on October 9th. The neutrality disputed flag from on the Wikipedia Gamergate article. Now, if y'all don't know, there's a big drama going on with the Gamergate Wikipedia entry. it was pretty biased. It ran with the whole narrative that it was a bunch of sexist attacks against women.
Hmm.
And it was using journalistic ethics as like a shield. And it's still kind of not neutral. But there was a whole big war over it. And one Wikipedia editor, Ryu Long, who had been a Wikipedia editor for 10 years, actually was banned from Wikipedia and is no longer allowed to edit anything on Wikipedia because of it. Because he was making terrible decisions, basically.
Hmm.
Okay. What else have we got?
Let's see.
Oh, another Game Jono Pros League happened, and it was joking about being paid for press. So joking about a company paying for positive press or positive reviews, and that was interesting. But it turns out it wasn't actually an admission of cash for comments. It was just some stuff. Sorry. This was also the time where articles, "What do male game developers think about Gamergate?" came out on The Escapist. These articles came out on The Escapist.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was specified as males, and it's like, what? Why would you do this?
Because they had "What do female developers think?" as one series, and then the other series is "What do male developers think?" So the
Yeah.
male developers thing came out, and everyone kicked up a stink because Roguestar was involved. It had an interview. Daniel Vavra, who is the lead dev of Warhorse Studios, who are making that game. That name is not good in my brain right now. And who? Grim, James Desborough, who makes tabletop games. And they all discussed kind of how they felt about Gamergate, but everyone lost their shit because these three guys, James, Daniel, and Roguestar, had they're actively involved with Gamergate, so they're very pro gamer and anti-corruption. But of course, Zoe Quinn and Alex Lifshitz love drama and had to reinsert Zoe into the whole debacle and made The Escapist pull the interviews with those three individuals. So that was fun. Oh, it was also about this time that this crazy Brazilian blogger dude, Celebrandino, went on his little "I hate Anita Sarkeesian" rampage in order to boost his blog numbers, basically. So he's this like sort of like TMZ, like, but e-celeb for some reason. I don't understand. And he was making all of these horrible, horrible threats against Anita Sarkeesian using the Gamergate hashtag with really shitty English and just being a general douchebag. And if you called him out on it, he would then threaten to rape and kill you. So anyway, we went through this whole thing where over the next like 2 weeks, because this is how long this dude kept it up, 2 weeks, he would make like spam accounts and keep doing it over and over and over again. And the guy is so retarded, he's got his little website linked in his Twitter profile for each of these accounts. So, this kind of was the big springboard for the Gamergate Harassment Patrol, which was created to like report accounts that were doxing and threatening people. Doesn't matter if they were pro or anti-Gamergate, as long as, you know, they got reported, didn't matter. So if there were dox information or harassment and threats, people would report it. You know, we'd use the hashtag, it's like Gamergate Harassment Patrol or something. I
Mhm.
can't remember because I'm still drunk from yesterday.
That is a long time to be drunk.
I had a lot of vodka last night.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so, where am I going with this? Oh, right,
Harassment
celebrate.
probe. Yeah.
Yeah, the harassment guy. Okay, so he just kept spamming Anita and kept spamming just Twitter in general. Um, and it got completely insane. Eventually, the guy stops and goes away, but then he comes back with his real account denying that it was him sending those threats. He's like, and claiming he's going to sue everyone for libel and slander. And I'm like, dude, are you retarded? He's such an idiot. But he keeps doing it. He's gross.
Hmm.
So that was the event that happened there. It was insane. Um, then we go to Boogie, pretty much having a nervous breakdown over the harassment he's received since talking about Gamergate. And that's terrible because, like we said earlier, Boogie is a really nice dude and he tries to walk that neutral line, but he is very sympathetic to Gamergate. But harassment is a real issue, and Boogie like flips his shit because he's been getting harassed by people saying, you know, well, you're not a true gamer. You obviously don't care about us because you hate Gamergate. And other people on the other side saying, well, then you hate women and you're pro harassment if you even talk to these Gamergate people. So he was copying it from all sides, to be completely honest.
Hmm.
And yeah, he kind of had a meltdown, which was really sad. But he, you know, there was a lot of support for him.
Yeah. Boogie's just, I said it before, I'll say it again, he's too nice for the fight.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling Sox earlier. He's like, dude, you're a great guy. We appreciate you trying, but we got this. Go back to yelling about Blizzard. Just
You know, he's a good guy, but yeah, like you guys say, he's just too nice for this shit. Um, this is about the time where,
Aha! Sorry, couldn't resist.
Ha
ethics.
Huh,
Time
ethics.
for ethics.
Birdman, get in here.
What are ethics and how do they work?
Fuck off, Wayne.
What did you ask that question?
Yeah.
No. You don't
This
remember
was
the lyrics? What are magnets and how do they work?
What?
Never mind. I'll tell you later.
we give Rye shit because he's a juggalo.
Yes. The funny thing is, I'm sorry, I had to go off another little tangent here. There's legitimately a website. If you, I Google searched the one day, just curious to see what would come up. How do magnets work? There is a legitimate website that is called howmagnetswork.com. And I swear to God, I was really hoping at the end of the article it was just going to say, now do you understand, you fucking juggalo? But it didn't. I was kind of depressed. I was like, come on.
Wait, you don't know how magnets work?
No, I do.
Magnets are the key to anti-gravity.
Fuck off. It's my own meme now, dude. It's great. All right, continue. He's perplexed and confused.
Okay. So around this time, the big New York Times article comes out about Anita Sarkeesian and links a bunch of the harassment she's received, including the school shooting threat that she got, to Gamergate, even though.
Smoke in my eyes.
Sorry.
But okay, so this whole narrative continues, and that we're all misogynist, hate crime, and it's really, honestly, it's a big circle up until now. We're all misogynists. No, we're not. Yes, you are. No, we're not. Yes, you are. No, we're not. We just want some ethics.
I'm rubber,
And then-
you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off.
Yeah, and I think the most recent happening that is of like real note is a PC Gamer have implemented sort of a standards and practices clause where their writers can no longer write about companies or products that they have a personal relationship or financial relationship with. So that's good. What else? Oh, IGN have a very comprehensive ethics policy and standards and practices guideline that is public and available for people to look at. That's another recent happening, which is ridiculous. That happened at the end of December, just before the New Year. So yeah, that's where we're at. We've made some real progress. Basically, forcing people to adopt better ethics policies and comprehensive standards and practices. That's all we want. I visit IGN again because they have it. You know what I mean? I directly link to them. Just like I directly link to The Escapist. And I don't run ad block on The Escapist because they changed their ethics policy, and even though I disagree with some of the content on their website, I still want to support them because they made a positive change. And that's honestly, that's where we're at. We're in the big loop of you're all misogynists. No, we're not. You're all right-wing fascist reactionaries.
So
no,
basically, Gamergate in a nutshell is us enjoying games and what they are, and everybody else seeing things that just aren't there.
They trying to tell us we're wrong for enjoying games the way we are.
So I mean, it's like I was saying, who wants to play a game where nothing but fat, ugly, unhealthy people are in the game? I mean, it's funny every once in a while, just like Grand Theft Auto 5. You could just make, like, Trevor is a perfect example. He's just, an unhealthy meth head who does everything wrong because he can. But that's pretty much it. They're just arguing against us because they can.
Yeah, it's basically it. They're pushing against us because they want their side to win. They want to crush us and kill any identity that we have, basically. Yeah. And we're Satan for liking Grand Theft Auto 5. We're terrible.
My name couldn't fit this more perfectly. Hate people. I hate people.
Get in line. Everybody hates people. Well,
yeah, but that's my actual name for the internet. People call me hate. It's so great. That wasn't supposed to rhyme.
And all of this talk of feminism and misogyny and everything, that is the other side inserting it into Gamergate. All we want is ethical journalism and fair representation from the press. And then we're going to move on and destroy publishers. Well, I'm going to move on and destroy the publishers as soon as I fix the press. So,
well, my biggest
that's my plan.
Yeah, see, publishers would definitely be the next thing. It's one of the things where, who was it? I think it might have been IA back in the day. Had said that if we can't fix this, what makes you think we can tackle that?
We can attack anything.
Pretty much.
All right, this is completely off the subject, but kind of it isn't in the same way. If everybody on the East Coast marched their asses to Washington, there's not a damn thing they could do about it if we just post out in front of the White House. We would get everything we wanted to.
No, they could.
Yeah, but they're not going to, because if they just start shooting us, then we're going to rise up, which we should anyway, but that's totally different. Different day. Different conversation.
I should probably let you know I like having a YouTube channel, and I don't want to get an email tomorrow telling me that my account's been suspended.
You shouldn't have invited me over.
Oh, shit.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That ends. This is Gamergate. If you have any questions, I'm happy to ask. And Wayne, if I missed anything, please go ahead.
Oh, well, I think you pretty much summed it up as well as could be expected in trying to make heads or tails out of that timeline.
I'm sorry, it's really detailed, and it's designed to be looked at and clicked on. So, yeah.
And also,
and,
like we said before, I am an open Twitter account. I can say anything you guys want me to say to anybody you want me to say.
Yeah, we have a totally unblocked soul here, so.
I don't know if that would be good or bad. Yeah.
I told him
Optimus, you
whenever,
already
whenever
followed
he's,
me.
I did tell him that if whenever he's using the tag to keep it level, don't, you know.
And intelligent, which
Yeah,
I have
don't
no
stress
problem
out.
doing. Yeah, I can have an intelligent argument. I'm good
Don't
at
go
that.
cray.
I'm just drinking right now, so I'm just
So, did I explain the situation as best I could?
Yeah, Ryan explained it to me the other day while we were at work, but
I didn't know the talking
was-
points, so it was kind of
Yeah.
hard to.
you kind of just gave me the nutshell of it, but you went into depth, and it makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, because it's just been brewing for like at least 15 years.
It's been
You
a
know, this-
powder keg.
Yeah. You know, people just been, packing more and more in there, and it's finally blown up. And that's why it didn't last 4 days. You know, this would have died if it was nothing. But it means something to people, you know? And for me personally, I've been fighting unethical press here in Australia since I was 19 years old.
Yeah, I don't
And-
know much about the Australian laws and the way press is in
Yeah.
Australia.
Huh.
So.
Our press is a disaster. It's all run by Rupert Murdoch, so it's insane.
Does Australia have freedom of speech and media?
No.
Oh, they don't.
No, we do not have the equivalent of a First Amendment. So,
Oh,
yeah. My government is actually actively trying to make it a crime at the moment to speak ill of the government in the press. They've actually got it so journalists can now be jailed here in Australia for whistleblowing.
what is that?
So that's like
For-
the WikiLeaks guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
Edward
Yeah.
Snowden. Whenever he came
So-
out against all the shady shit that was going on with our government, and then I believe he fled to Sweden, didn't he?
Yeah, He did.
Yeah,
I know
something.
exactly what I know exactly what you're talking about now. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of thing. So if you have hypothetically, I worked for a big corporation and I found out that they were doing, I don't know, dumping toxic chemicals somewhere, and my government was looking the other way, and I leaked that information to a journalist with all of the evidence, and the journalist then published it and kept my identity secret. They could be thrown in jail for leaking government documents and official other shit. So yay, my government's insane. We're fast becoming one of those like Cold War countries, man. It's terrifying.
It's one of them things where I don't mean to speak poorly of your country at all, but you're like Australia was originally a prison continent, wasn't it?
We were a prison colony, and then we became legitimized like 200 years ago. But yeah.
But yeah, you got, I don't know, I like as far as
Australia.
countries go. How old is your country?
It's old as the
man.
earth.
As a recognized nation, we're 200 years old.
So really, they're pretty young.
Yeah,
But so is America.
yeah.
But yes, the United States is the same. You guys are only about 100 years older than us. So, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
With the difference
we're
is
young nations.
America thinks they're the kid with the magnifying glass and that we can control everybody outside.
What's funny as
of
hell
us.
is we're number one in nothing anymore. We're number one in arms in armed exportation and export. Wow, exportation.
Canada.
That's it.
Their money, Canada's money is worth more than ours. Fucking Canada.
Our money, Australian money, was worth more than the United States money for like 2.5 years. But then my new government walked in and fucked that all up.
I'm half like staring at the chat right now, waiting for Nick to chime in and go, "Fuck yeah, Canada rocks."
I like Australia for two reasons. I love the outdoors, and I'm a really outdoorsy person. It's a beautiful country. I've never been there, but I've seen lots of pictures and videos and all that stuff. And I love the accents. I love women's Australian accents. And British.
Oh, that really depends, dude. It really depends on where you go, because some women in this country, the accent is just, it's
Wait,
like
you're out there.
unintelligible hillbilly. Like, you know Boomhauer from
I can
King of the
understand.
Hill?
I can understand him though. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but like I'm talking like Appalachian kind of deal, but Australian.
See, it's funny that you
ridiculous.
say that because I actually know people that talk like that. Like I do, and like because my family, I live in Ohio, and we have some land in southern Ohio.
Guy in
And some
chat
of my
just summed it up
neighbors.
perfectly. Fucking bravo. USA wins #1 in pretentious bullshit. Yes.
But
How come that came off like something the Iron Sheik would say? Anyway.
and we got neighbors in southern Ohio that speak like that. Like when I say neighbors, I mean these are the kind of guys that sit on the front porch with a double barrel, spitting, chewing tobacco, and talking like they're fucking boomhauer. That's like stereotypical hillbillies, and we're friends with them. I can understand what they're saying. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like the Australian accent is really broad and strange. I have a particular one. I grew up in a town called Melbourne. I grew up there, so my accent is a little more neutral. Whereas, and then I'm contaminated by all of the Americans I surround myself with.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Is it different in Australia? Different parts of Australia, do they have different types of accents?
Oh yeah, that like up north they got this real long drawl. Like my baby brother married a girl and moved up to Queensland, up north, like way north in Queensland. And he can hardly understand anybody there. He's like, everyone here is so white, and I have no idea what anyone is saying. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I mean, I was just wondering because everywhere in America they all have different accents, Southern accents, fucking pretentious douchebags accents in San Francisco and.
Yeah, see, I think that's probably the biggest problem with our country is San Francisco in general.
Yeah, that's just like.
I don't know about that. Y'all got some other problems there, but.
Well, we got Florida.
San Francisco. I think the culture that exists in San Francisco, Boston, and New York. There's this kind of indie weirdo hippie. It's like nouveau puritanical hippie, so it's really friggin' weird.
Hipsters.
It's like,
that's what they're called. Hipsters.
Puritanical hippies. That's a.
Yeah, but that's what they are, man. They're like sex negative, puritanical, hypocritical hippies. That's exactly what it is. Like we're so sex negative, but also I'm gonna go bang 11 chicks right now. Okay, I'm not objectifying women. I just really like to bang girls. I'm empowering them. Okay.
She needs to be on your show more often, dude. She's fucking hilarious.
You know what? She's allowed, but she just at the same time that.
Yeah, that's right. She's on the exact other side of the world. Yeah. So it's like 8 o'clock in the morning for you.
No, it was like 9 o'clock when you guys got me earlier, but it's like lunchtime. It's like 12 o'clock.
Oh, so
last time I had her on the show was back when the old 8-hour time schedule. So.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore, by the way. It's only 3 hours. And actually, tonight I might wrap it up early because we're kind of already ran through everything, and I didn't build up topics because I was in a panic to make sure I had guests coming on tonight. So I was like, oh, fuck, I have no time to find topics.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, dude, I've enjoyed myself a lot more with just a few people that we have on here now. Dude, when there was 8 fucking people on there, I wanted to beat the shit out of your laptop, but I didn't have any money back then.
Yeah, I don't do streams. Yeah, I don't do streams with more than like 3 or 4 people. It's just too many people, and you end up talking over each other, and it just.
She used to do a stream with one person, and she'd always got talked over too. So.
Oh yeah! Don't even get me started. All right.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. I ain't saying no names.
I'm pretty sure who you're talking about. He's officially taken his way out, so let's not open that can of worms.
I ain't opening a can of worms. I'm just saying that.
I've never seen a can of worms.
You've never seen a can of worms.
Have you ever been fishing? What is wrong with you?
I've been hunting.
We've been fishing,
dude.
Whenever you go fishing out here, they come in a styrofoam little container.
Yeah.
It's not a can.
And I get my own worms. I pull my own. I put a rod in the ground and charge it with electricity and get my own night crawlers. That's how you do it.
At least you are taking the time to find topics.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, dude, I've enjoyed myself a lot more with just a few people that we have on here now. I
Yes, it's
Silent.
possible.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm an inside person. I
Oh no, my dad put a gun in my hand when I was 3. I learned how to ride a dirt bike before I learned how to ride my actual bike. I'm very much
He's American.
I'm American. No, I'm like a country nerd, I guess you could say.
And it's hilarious because him and I are like the furthest polar opposite fucking people. I spend all my time inside. He spends all his time outside. Well, not all of his time, but
Right.
like he's a very outdoorsy type of person. I've never shot a gun in my life outside of being my paintball gun.
But I will teach him one day. I need to.
guns
yeah.
are fine. You should totally shoot guns. Guns are awesome.
Oh,
I'm
he
not
wants to
opposed to
learn.
the idea. I'm not opposed to it.
No, he wants to
I got
learn.
5
Yeah.
rifles in my safe right now. They're awesome.
And see, that's
What are
another
the
thing,
gun
I gotta
laws in
move.
Australia?
Gun laws are insane here. You can't own a handgun here unless you're a competitive handgun shooter, and your gun has to be kept at the gun club, and you have to compete in 3 tournaments a year.
What about assault rifles?
Nope, sir. No, sir. We are not allowed to have assault rifles in this country.
I am never, ever going to Australia. I like my AR-15.
Oh,
I am
dude,
sorry.
alright.
In all seriousness,
hold on,
you don't
wait,
own an
hold on.
assault rifle
Hold on.
either.
Yes,
But,
I do.
Yeah, dude. he was
AR-15 is not considered an assault rifle.
Yeah, it's an assault rifle 15.
That is not what AR means.
I know it's not. And listen. All right, the AR-15. Listen, let me explain something. The AR-15.
Wait, hold on. Let's clarify this. He's explaining to the guy in the South.
Oh
about
yeah,
guns.
I'm sure you know what you're talking about, but this is what I always have to explain. The AR-15 is a civilian version of the M16. It is a semi-automatic assault rifle. The SKS is a civilian version of the AK-47. It is a semi-automatic assault rifle. You are allowed to own assault rifles as long as they are semi-automatic. I know all my gun laws. I cannot be challenged. In Ohio, you are allowed to carry a handgun without a carry conceal license as long as it is showing. I can walk outside with a pistol on my side as long as you can see it.
Wayne,
Yes.
is he correct?
I'm
He's
trying
not-
to.
He's not in Ohio.
I know, but I'm
Yeah,
just.
I mean, he's probably right about Ohio. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah. What state are you in? Like South Kentucky or Tennessee or something?
Hold on, South Kentucky is not its own state.
Dude, North Kentucky and South
We're
Kentucky.
inventing stuff.
It's the same state, I know, but they're different. Okay, I've been to Kentucky. I know. They like fried chicken a lot more in South Kentucky.
By the by,
Damn it.
the reason it's called an AR-15 is because the first AR-15 was designed by a company named Armalite. Armalite. Get on my level, scrub. But no, yes.
There's a comedian we watched. His name was Jim Jeffries, and I keep giving him shit about it because his whole thing was like.
Oh, I hate that guy. He's hilarious, but I hate him.
He has this whole bit about gun control and shit like that. About how where are these home protection rifles you speak of?
It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I like my home protection rifle. I like the AR-15 a lot more than the SKS just because it's a lot more accurate.
Yeah, but the SKS won't jam. Ha.
I think the reaction is shut up, man.
She just had a little bit of ghetto in that accent.
A little bit. I live in the equivalent of the ghetto. There are like my neighborhood is not great.
The Australian.
What was it?
Ghetto.
But it's 2 weeks ago. Socks found out. We gang now.
Oh yeah, we a gang now.
It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
we a cyber gang.
Yeah, we're a cyber gang.
So
I've
don't you be wearing
okay, I
purple
got
and
it.
green?
It is
Yeah.
hilarious, all right? I'll say this officially. I have never seen more white people so comfortable saying nigga on anywhere else than on Twitter lately. It's just like, holy shit.
I'm
hilarious.
I have never been one to use that unless I was singing a song.
No, neither have I, but I'm just saying,
Oh.
you go to,
Yeah.
you look at Twitter for an hour on my Twitter feed, either you're going to see a bunch of hentai,
And titties.
or you're going to see a bunch of white people saying, "Nigga, get on my level." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. My cousin Justin's like that, dude. I don't understand. We grew up in the same house. He lived with my father. I don't know why he is so different.
Okay.
It just doesn't make
You
any
want to
sense.
know what it is? It's 4chan culture, man. It's like, what it is, we've taken over Twitter, and we've carried our Chan language with us. So, you know,
Oh,
and
don't get me wrong, I love it. I just find it amazing. Like, it's so good.
but the thing is, a lot of us aren't just a bunch of white people. Some of us are like, you know, mixed race, lesbian, transgender
no,
people.
I understand
man.
that, but like the people who have like legitimate pictures after as
Oh
their
yeah.
those are
God,
the ones that I see doing it the most, and it's just like
I know. It's like,
funny. I
oh my
talk to some
god.
of these people in Skype calls, and it's just like, you didn't even try to twang that. You just straight up fucking like told the one
Yeah.
guy, "What's up, nigga?" Like what?
Yeah, that's
There
not
wasn't
how
any
it-
kind of hood in there at all.
Nigga. That's how people are around here, dude. It's so annoying.
That is not an this is not an episode of Boondocks.
Yeah, people around here are bad with it though. So.
Oh yeah, it's insane. And there's like 5 black families where we live,
Yeah.
so it doesn't make any sense.
And it was funny as hell. Those 5 black families are the whitest people you know.
Oh yeah.
What? What?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's one of them things where like they dress themselves in like the nicest clothes and shit, and then like you have the kid down the street, and it's like he dresses himself like me, I guess, baggy ass clothes and shit.
Well, you are a juggalo.
Well, dude, that's another thing is we're fucking. Oh my god, people in Skype groups are trying to get me to talk about fashion the one night. It's like I have no style. My style is me. Like.
Yeah. You are literally Lanky Kong. You have no style. You have
Yeah.
no
I'm shit at fashion too. My style is basically what's clean.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My
That's
style
it.
is what's clean, what's black or dark.
Yeah, like I'm usually like right now black t-shirt and jeans, and I slept in this
That-
because I'm a pleb.
That's pretty much
Wow.
exactly what I'm wearing. That's pretty funny.
Well, everyone wears black t-shirt and jeans. Like, how
Well,
can
mine's
you
more
fuck that up?
Black ICP t-shirt, jeans, and what's
Well,
better,
mine's-
I wore them to work yesterday.
Wait, are you like actually a juggler? Jesus.
Oh yeah. He's a real
Yeah.
juggler, like in the flesh.
Yeah, like I have the tattoos. I got the tattoos. I got the chains. Belt buckle.
Put the cam on real fast and show the tattoos.
Oh fuck! All right.
Oh my god.
I don't think I've heard you laugh
See?
like that in a long time.
I got the
For
tattoos.
me?
Yeah, you. Wow. He does have the tattoos. Jesus.
Yeah, there's his,
Holy
there's his
crap.
tattoos. He's legit a walking douchebag.
Oh,
I mean, I'm allowed to say it because I like the music too. It's just
he doesn't have any of the tattoos.
Yeah,
I think
I
I
actually
told.
don't have
I
any
think I told the story about my Juggalo friend before. How?
hang
you know,
on,
once-
stop. Hang on, wait. I have to go to the bathroom. I want to hear this.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Oh shit! At least let me redeem myself real fast to show off my newest tattoo.
Yeah, that will redeem you.
What is your newest tattoo there?
Hold on.
I don't know. When I start hearing snapping noises, I'm like, nope. 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 Nope.
Is that
that
offer a little bit of
Sonic?
redemption? Yes,
That
it's
is Sonic. I don't know if that redeems you though,
Fuck you, Wayne.
because now we could say you are Chris Chan.
Oh, fuck you. Sonic's arms are
No,
not
it's
blue,
not Sonichu.
Tega.
It's not Sonichu.
Oh, it's not Sonic. Yeah, that's true. And I'm wager that Rye has had relations with an actual woman and not a.
Oh, fuck off, dude.
No. I'm just saying, you know, Chris Chan with his doll was.
Oh, wow. Okay, I did not know about that.
Like, yeah, there's a tape of it.
What do they think?
Oh, they laughed. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty much waiting the chat to catch back up and be like, holy fuck, he wasn't kidding.
All right, I'm back. I want to hear the story.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I have a friend, and he's not now, but he was a pretty big juggalo, probably more so than Rye is.
I don't
And
know about that.
yeah, no, it was bad. It was so bad. He was like he bought a Christmas album.
Oh, dude, Ryan's got it all. He just bought this.
Yeah, he showed me the box set that he had.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but let's see. He had like all that. He had merch. He even had He even had the movies.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had like tapes of their fucking wrestling organization.
Oh no shit. See, that's my
Yeah.
brother's like that, and I don't understand why he's
Yeah.
so into it. It's like you can call them your family,
Hmm.
but I guarantee you, if you get thrown in jail, they're not gonna be the ones bailing you out.
Yeah. But so it got to a point where like me and my friend, we chilling, having a good time and going down the road, and it seemed like every time that we went, he's always playing this fucking ICP, and I'm like, oh god. I was like, dude, what happened to you? He's like, what? I'm like, you used to like Metallica and
Right.
Nine Inch Nail, good stuff. What's going on? Oh man, I like it. Well, this went on for a couple of weeks. We were just chilling, and he kept playing this shit. I got so mad, I put my fist through his radio. I got tired of it. I just like Falcon punched his entire console. And,
I mean, I'm a musician, like very big into music. I just like good music. I've been playing instruments since I was very young. I like a lot of ICP songs, but that's because if you really listen to the words, some of it's like really good. Like some of the shit that they do is really good. It might be fucked up, but it's still good.
Well, I think if you take anything and you put and emphasize too much on something, you can ruin it for yourself or anybody.
I mean, if you listen to it constantly, like the shit they play on the radio, I don't much care for the radio anymore because they play the same fucking 10 songs over and over again.
Another friend of mine, when he was in college, he had a roommate that really liked Queen.
Queen's awesome.
24 hours a day, Queen.
No, they're not that awesome. Like, you listen to Bohemian Rhapsody like 4 times a year, and I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, somebody in chat, your leg got to go fast. Like.
Yeah. Your leg got to go fast.
Too bad he can't run.
But yeah, so yeah, I think I wanted to say that I know he's triggered every time that somebody mentions Queen. I mean, this is really, I don't say triggered like the obvious ones that people throw out, but his trigger is like as soon as you say, hey buddy, yeah, have you listened to Queen lately? Fuck you. It's like instant, like fuck you. It's just it's like.
Queen's got those few songs. Like, have you ever seen A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger?
Or Mighty Ducks at the very
those songs. Those were just all those songs. Those are like all the good Queen songs.
Yeah.
And I Want to Ride My Bicycle.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. I'm just looking at the chat here.
Yeah,
Socks.
Wait, there's still a radio?
Socks.
She's still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Your Google name is Socks Laser Machine Gun?
Yes.
That is amazing.
I just realized it too. That's awesome.
I want a laser machine gun.
I mean, if you're going to have a machine gun, it might as well shoot lasers.
That's some Fallout shit's what that is, man.
Right? Fucking plasma rifle.
Someone's hyped for Fallout 4.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, that. God, I need that game to be good. Otherwise, I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. But the thing is that all the leaks that have come out lately, they've all been debunked. It's all bullshit. People are just coming up with random crap. Like it's supposed to be official that it's gonna take place in Boston, but I don't even believe that. Like.
No, man. Yeah, it's in Boston.
Is it?
Yeah.
That I see. I'm happy with that because they got the institute. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. Boston Institute.
MIT.
MIT. Yeah. That is gonna be sick. They're gonna turn that into some crazy badass shit, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna play it, but that's
Is everyone else just happy to play it to kill super mutants?
Super mutants better not be in it, honestly.
No, look. Okay. My whole thing is I'm happy to see it because it's going to be the first one that's developed with this new engine.
Yeah, the new engine's great, but there's a few things I want them to do. They need to add at least some type of co-op because that game would just be awesome if you could roll around the wasteland with your buddies.
Well, they need to give you a vehicle then too if you're going to roll.
Fuck
around.
the vehicle.
As long as the co-op is your, like, let's say you and Rye are playing, and it's your character going to Rye's game or Rye's character going to your game, and not none of that bullshit they try to pull in Fable 2.
Or you're going to be splitting the world.
No, with Fable 2, it was like you couldn't like take your character, your hero, into another game. You had to become a minion of the other hero. I'm like,
what I just thought of about say you have your own story going and they have their own story going. You guys are nowhere near the same point.
Yeah.
How about you guys just like start a new game together? That becomes your world.
Yeah, that could work too. Well, the thing is, somebody saying I'm in the chat saying no co-op, solo only.
Well, they should give you the choice.
Well, yeah, you can have the option, but here's the downside though. There's a lot of games that give you the option. They're always like, oh well, the game was tailored to be a single player game,
well,
so
it shouldn't be. Well, I mean, if it's tailored to be a single player game and you do the co-op or you join stories, it could still work though.
Well, I remember, now more people are starting to realize it, but there was like that period for a while during like I would say mid 360 PS3 era where everything had to be multiplayer.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest one I remember was BioShock 2.
I didn't play any of the BioShocks actually.
It was just like we need multiplayer. Why? Because everything is a shooter. It needs multiplayer.
Oh god, they tacked on a terrible multiplayer.
Yeah. It was terrible multiplayer. They tried to do it for Infinite, and finally, before it, ended, they finally scrapped that altogether. I said, thank God, because that was stupid. Not, if you said this back then, but now you're more safe saying it. It's like not everything has to be multiplayer, guys. It's okay to have a single-player experience, especially if it fits your narrative. You don't need to always have multiplayer. I mean, something like the Saints Row series, it works because, you're just shit-posting, around with your own, with each other's characters. You're both getting the same story,
Right.
By the way, I'm still pissed off. A friend of mine in Saints Row 3, he went and anybody play Saints Row 3?
Yeah.
Okay. He went, like, when we fought Killbane, he went for his mask instead of the Apocalypse. That's you piece of shit. What the fuck is wrong? He ruined my save game.
Speaking of Saints Row, is Get Out of Hell out yet?
Yes.
It's a standalone.
It's a standalone?
Yeah.
Is it any good? I didn't play 4, so.
You play as Gat and Kinsey.
As I say, I think it's a pretty mixed review from what I understand.
Yeah. It's like you don't play as because your character gets kidnapped. So.
Here's the thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Saints Row 4. I played Saints Row 4. Now, you gotta understand, I love things like Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row, okay? Saints Row 3 is one of my most favorite games.
Mm-hmm.
Saints Row 4 kind of killed it for me. The superpowers make all of the cars completely irrelevant.
Pointless. And weapons.
Exactly, and weapons. So you kind of like, aww. And it was a real letdown for me. I mean, I only got 20... Yeah, I mean...
what's the point of a car when you run at super speed?
And the worst part is, the absolutely worst part about that is the car physics and handling in Saints Row 4 and 3 is fucking amazing!
Yep.
It's fucking amazing! And they kind of just completely ignored that. And I was really upset by it. So Saints Row 4 for me was kind of shitty. And I know that in Get Out of Hell, there will be more superpowers and other kinds of stuff.
See,
I'm kind of avoiding it.
As far as the superpower stuff goes, like I really kind of thought they would have gone a better route with a lot of the powers, a bit little about it. But
it should have been like they did in that one DLC for Saints Row 3, where you had superpowers, but they were limited. You know, like it wouldn't last forever.
I
Yeah.
don't know, I'd have been fine with them even lasting forever. I'd have just been like, give me something a little better than what was there.
Yeah.
See, that's why I think the last Saints Row I played, Saints Row. Actually, I did play 3 because it was a free thing for Xbox One. But
No, Xbox Live.
like, whatever, fuck off. Anyway, I played it, and I don't like Saints Row because of the unrealisticness of it. I like Grand Theft Auto because of the realistic aspect, you know.
Well, see, Saints Row tried to be realistic in their first game. In their second game, they went a little, I would say, a little,
They
out there
went
with
Asian
it.
action movie weird.
Yeah, and then in the
Yeah.
third one, they just like, I honestly think at some point they were writing the script for it, as a direct sequel to 2, and they started looking at it, so you know what, fuck this. And
Yeah.
let's just do something totally crazy. And, of course, the first thing you do is, like, you drop kick an airplane. And so...
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think I enjoy Saints Row because of that absurdity and craziness that Grand Theft Auto doesn't have. You know what I mean? Like,
That's why
you just want to
that's
wreak
why they can
mayhem.
exist in the same space, because
Yeah.
they're not direct clones, of each other. So that's why I appreciate Saints Row for what it is, and I of course appreciate Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto for what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I liked Grand Theft Auto because it was, in a way, it was absurd, but it was an absurd in a realistic way because you're robbing things and shit like that.
The entirety of the Grand Theft Auto series is satire anyway, so it's a satire on American culture. Yes.
Right.
So of course it's
Well,
gonna have.
yeah. But it's a satire, but it's dramatic.
Yeah, dramatic satire. Yeah.
Whereas Saints Row is absurdist comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's after Saints Row 2. It started in Saints Row 2, but then it culminated in Saints Row 3, and then it officially went batshit insane with Saints Row 4.
Yeah, but to me, Saints Row was dumb funny, and I'm not a big fan of dumb funny.
Saints Row 2 was awesome.
I owned Saints Row 2. Saints Row 2 was pretty good. Saints Row 3 was dumb funny to me. It was just like, let's just read this book and see how many stupid jokes we can find in this
It wasn't
joke
okay.
book.
My main
But
problem
Saints Row 1, that was a game taking itself way too seriously.
I don't even think I played the first one.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Yeah,
you
one was
played Grand Theft Auto, right? Yeah, you played.
yeah, one was legitimately a carbon copy ripoff of San Andreas. It wasn't until 2 where they started to truly define themselves.
Yeah.
It was still fun to fuck around in 1 though, but 2, I don't know, I absolutely loved it. Like I picked it up. My only problem with it is for the 360 version, there were some weird bugs here and there.
Yeah. I'm still. I think it was in 3. One of my favorite little things was the airstrikes. You're just like, oh look, there are tanks after me. I'll just call in an airstrike.
Oh, I know. Oh, fuck, my favorite part, like, I don't know, like, my biggest disappointment with the transition from 2 to 3 would have been the lack of customization. And what I mean by that, it's like the clothes, they cut back on, like, my dude was, like, straight up fucking, I'm not gonna lie, I had the mime face paint. My dude went out looking like a juggalo, fucking straight up. Mime face paint.
Dreadlocks.
Fitted pot leaf hat. Dreadlocks didn't matter because he had a fitted pot leaf hat on.
Yeah.
A fucking jersey, fucking black jeans, like fucking you name it, dude. It was the shit. And they cut back on all of that for 3. But I enjoyed 3 for what it was. Like at first I didn't buy it right away, but then we got it for free for Xbox Live, and I played it then. And that's actually what convinced me to buy 4.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know you had 4.
Yeah. It's really lackluster, honestly. The powers that they give you, they hyped it up so much about having superpowers, and then it comes out and it's like, eh.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna take off.
Yeah, actually, I'm about to wrap up the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you guys had a good time. Let anybody who is new to Gamergate know that this video exists, and it's a great little recap that goes over everything. Yeah, share, and if you haven't subscribed yet, click that little thing up there. If you like the video, click the thumbs up down there, and I'll see you guys next week.
Farewell.